Greetings, salutations, it's me, James, your BA Sensei, back with another Power Query tutorial. In today's video, we are going to be looking at finding your local maximum of a specific row. And the data set we can apply it to is this lovely data set over there with consecutive days with various stock codes and then the number of stocks purchased on that day. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at the local maximum. So let's say for this one over there. So on the 6th of Jan, we're basically looking 2 days back. So the current row is 91 stocks purchased. 2 days back, nothing bigger. 2 days ahead, nothing bigger. So we keep 91. So let's say the 69, 2 days back, 91 is bigger. So we discard that row. 10th of Jan, we look 75, 2 days back, nothing bigger. 2 days ahead, nothing bigger. So we keep 75. So we just iterate through all the rows until we sit with the list like this with the local maximums 2 days ahead and 2 days back. This is quite a complicated one, but there's a simple solution. So let me show you how to do it. Okay, so let's start our magic by clicking in the data set and go to data and say from table range, and that opens Power Query. Okay, in Power Query, open the advanced editor. This change type, you can see it detected my dates as date time. I don't want that, I just want it to be date. And I'm just going to rename this step to types, right? And that will literally just return that for me. Okay, cool. Let's open the advanced editor again. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a local max rows variable. And in there, I'm going to say table add column. And we're going to add to types, which is the previous step. And we're going to add a new column called maximum. And we're going to start at each statement. And in there, we're going to start a nested let. We're going to say let in, and in there we'll simply start with what's my current row. And I'm going to say underscore. It looks silly, but it's not actually silly. It's actually quite handy what we're going to do here, and we need to make sure that we end this thing in the local max rows. So you can see we're returning a record for each row in this data set. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's go back. So now let's get the current date, which will simply be current row and my date column. And let's get the current value, which is the current row, and it's the value column, simply the value and the date column in there. And let's return the date value, for instance, and just to show you what that does. So from the record, it just returns the value, which is exactly the same as that. Okay, now it looks redundant, but I'm going to show you why it's not. Okay, cool. So in this nested let, what we want to do is I want to take this entire table and return 2 days before and 2 days after a specific row. So for that, I'm going to say find my nearby rows. Cool. And for that, I'm going to use table select rows, which basically takes a table and filters it by some condition. So I'm going to filter, I'm going to take the entire table. You can see that one is called types, right? And I'm going to write a little function. I'm going to say, cool, these types, let's call them the main table, which is this big table in a function. This is my little rocket dash. And I'm going to say from the main table, which is this big one, where the date, that column over there, is bigger than date, add days. I'm going to add the days to my current date of each row. See, so my current date of each row. And I want to look 3 days back or 2 days back. And I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to copy this. And I want to look 3 days into the future. And I want to make sure this is bigger than, the current date is bigger than that. Cool. And now let's just return the nearby rows. Let's see what that does. Now that returns a table, you can see. So for every single row, we're actually returning 2 days before. You can see 2 days before and 2 days after for every single row. So that's a good place to start with. So having a local table, which we can find the max value around that. Okay, we're already heading there. Cool. So now that we have that, let's say for the nearby rows, if we work with a list, there's this cool function called max from a list, right? So we can take the nearby rows, which is this table at the moment. Let's just return the actual value. Cool. You see what happens? It's going to return a list of all the nearby values, 2 days ahead and 2 days back. So now we can use a cool little function. We can use that function list max. Let's say max value nearby value. And we can say list max. And we can simply give it this nearby rows value. And let's return the max nearby value in there. Let's see what this does. So now this returns your local maximum. You can see that. So now we have the local maximum for each row, right? So that's already giving us what we want. You can see 2 days ahead and 2 days back what the biggest amount of stocks were that was purchased, right? So now all we need to do is we need to now filter out all the ones where basically where this max is equal to the value in there. Okay, so how we do that is we simply say where current value, which is simply my current value, is bigger than or equal to the max. Now it's going to give me a true and false. All I want to do is I want to only keep the trues, right? I'm not going to do it in this thing, which is the add column, right? All I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the table add column, replace that with a select rows, delete that one because we're not going to add anything, and that should do it. If I click OK, there we go. It literally now gave us our local minimums for each row in our data set. Isn't that cool? I'm going to close and load that to Excel, and there we go. You can see what we actually did here is solve a very complicated problem with a very simple nested logic. Well, I hope that blew your mind. BA Sensei signing out.